What have
So
we got planned? What's the agenda?
we actually we actually have a very long agenda that Jean uh, Fondue, for those who don't know, meticulously crafted. Unfortunately, I probably won't be following it at all.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I mean, as we start to get some people rolling in, why don't you give a little introduction to the beautiful people here?
An introduction about
Yeah,
EarnOS or about me?
I mean, anything really. I mean, you can introduce modern theory of jazz if you wanted to.
Theory of jazz?
Yeah,
Let's go with that.
cool.
Um,
Punk.
don't know anything about jazz, so that's about all I've
What
got to
about
say about
yourself?
that.
Maybe we start with yourself.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Great. Sick.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess my background is originally in sort of networking, telephony. Got started doing. Who's this? Someone just joined.
Tom.
Tom, awesome.
Do you know
Yeah,
Tom?
got
Have you met
started.
Tom, by the way? I'm sorry. Tom works.
No, we've
He's
never met before.
co-founder of NOS. Very, very bright guy. He works at a project where he's clearly the leading co-founder, and just
Yeah.
overall the smartest. Yeah. But Tom, how are you?
Good man, how are you? Thank you
Stop
for
talking,
the
Tom.
introduction. I said too much.
They have to think I'm the smart one.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, Phil, introduce yourself, and then Tom, introduce yourself.
Yeah,
And
cool.
maybe a
So my
fun fact.
background, fun fact. Tom, you go while I think about mine. I'm gonna-
Don't put me on the spot like that, man. Fun facts. Oh my god, I can't think of anything off the top of my
Okay,
head.
let's do without the fun fact. Phil, do you want to introduce yourself? This has been 10 minutes,
This is why we
and we're
have a
still in the
schedule.
introductions. Yes.
This is why we should have stuck to the script. Yeah, cool. So, my background sort of is in telephony, networking, software-defined networking, stuff like that. Built out a telecoms company in Australia before getting into crypto that still operates, doing like business phone systems. Then got into marketplaces as part of the launch team for Uber in Australia, launching out cities down there. And then
Down under.
got into yeah, down under. Yeah.
Nice.
I can put on more of an accent if that
No, please,
helps.
please, 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 please,
No,
no.
no.
It's already
Okay, all right.
very, very, very much there.
So after we launched Uber down in
Jesus
Australia,
Christ.
no, following that, came across crypto when Kinetic Capital were talking about it actually, in like just after the launch of ETH, talking about smart contracts, and thought that smart contracts pretty cool, programmable money, and all that jazz. See, jazz. This is
No, it
looping
is.
it back. Yep. And thought it's pretty cool to be able to send money anywhere on the planet to anyone. And started the first crypto startup, which is a company called Bamboo, a micro investment platform similar to Acorns in the US. But instead of rounding up spare change into ETFs, it's rounding up spare change into Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, and silver. So just building a mobile platform to make it easy for anyone to invest around the world. Built that out, exited it in 2020, and then sort of got into building out EarnOS a few years ago when we saw the proliferation of Web3 wallets and making it much easier to get a wallet in everyone's hand on the internet and then put money in it. And that's basically the way that we came about forming EarnOS. Tom?
Wonderful. Tom, yeah, please. Maybe more
Cool.
concise. Yeah.
Concise. So also in Australia and Aussie, hopefully with less of an accent from Phil. Yeah, I guess I'm a product guy as well. I've worked in a lot of different sort of industry verticals. I co-founded a sports tech startup before, where we actually got to number one app during the Russian World Cup back in 2018, which was pretty fun. I then moved on to Boston Consulting Group's digital ventures team, where we were doing some pretty cool stuff with blockchain around supply chains, where we're basically verifying supply chain origins and sustainability and human rights claims, publishing that on Ethereum mainnet. That was sort of my first professional foray into crypto, and yeah, joined with Phil to do EarnOS. Known Phil for about 10 years when he was camped out in the back of my office starting Uber, and we became good friends talking about coffee, as you do. And yeah, it's my concise intro.
I love it. I
Back to
love
you,
it. Yeah,
Anthony.
one of those things. For anyone wondering, if you ever go to a new city with Phil, he will drag you to the farthest coffee shop that's seemingly possible, just to get a regular pour over, and then say, "Yes, this coffee is good."
I will. I will. I'll definitely
So,
do that, and I
so,
will
so
force
speaking
you
about
to agree with me.
yes, and speaking about energized and being caffeinated, you've had quite the beta launch, guys. Phil, you wanna talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we
I
launched
thought that was a good
in
transition, by the way. Speaking of
it
energized,
wasn't.
I don't know if you heard that with the
No,
coffee remark.
no, no,
Okay,
no. It wasn't good.
all right.
Um, if you could stop, just mute yourself, mate. That would be great. So yeah, we launched at Consensus on May 30th. Took on 100,000 users in like the first 7 days. Had more than 400,000 people complete missions. 400,000 mission completions. Sorry. So on Xion's testnet, we paid out more than 1.6 million of rewards of testnet USDC. Pretty cool statistic for us was that 42% of all of the users that came onto the platform were referred by another user. So obviously, when we approach sort of that 50% mark, it means that we're basically getting organic growth without the need for external promotion. Daily transactions on chain, which you should be pretty excited about, Anthony. 169,000 daily transactions on average across
Nice.
that 7 day period, which is more than some entire chains have to themselves. So pretty good there. But in terms of what we're actually doing as a business, pretty exciting because the brands that launched on our platform experienced nearly 50% growth of their socials in 7 days, which is absolutely insane. One of the brands, Sunglass Hut, pretty international brand, experienced more than 150% growth. And I can explain percentages to you later, Anthony, if you need help with that, because I know
I
that
think
you've
Jean
sort
is
of
the person who needs help with percentages, by the
I
way.
think you've struggled with that before, so I
What
just, just
200
in
is a
case.
percent of? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So and then we grew our own socials by 200,000 people with 100,000 people on Discord and 100 and something thousand people on Twitter. But the brands, over the moon, they got more than 1.35 million interactions from people all around the world across 170 countries, and that was just in the first 7 days. So pretty phenomenal launch.
Nice. And for people here who haven't used the EarnOS platform yet, can you give a quick little intro and just about the EarnOS in general, and then specifically, kind of this beta launch?
Yeah, absolutely. So EarnOS exists as a way to enable brands, traditional brands, international, multinational brands, to reach existing customers and new customers and reward them when they learn about their brand, products, and services. So, at its simplest, it's an alternative to the traditional advertising mechanisms of Facebook and Google, where people can sort of be advertised to. And instead of them being turned into the product and Facebook and Google making all of the money off the advertising, we think it's better that brands directly reward users when those users learn about their products and services and that they actually get paid for learning and going on that journey. So we want to take some of the $1 trillion a year that's spent by advertising on platforms like Facebook and Google and distribute that to the billions of people who are consumers, who are customers, who are potential audiences for those brands. Give them that $1 trillion instead of giving it all to Facebook and Google.
Nice. That's awesome. And so, I mean, kind of as it goes there, right? You've had some pretty amazing brands, obviously, kind of working with you guys. What's the plan as it relates to, obviously this is a test net, this is a beta run. Walk me through what that looks like in the future. Can we expect similar brand, more? How do we think about that?
No, that's it. That's all we got. We're
Oh, yeah,
finished.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we did it
It was a
all and now we're
one-time
shutting up
thing,
shop. Yeah,
all
it's a
on
one-time
testnet,
thing.
never gonna
Yeah, don't
touch
worry
it
about it.
again.
Yeah, but it was fun. Thanks for everyone.
Thanks,
No, no.
everybody.
So
But you want to laugh?
so
This happened to me one time where I think I got kicked out of I was in an AMA room with Austin from Omni, and I
Mhm.
got kicked out. And then Austin said, um, "I'm the leader of Zion now." And then I got a message from our PR team because there's like AI listening to this and auto transcribing it with like the headline that Austin replaced me as the CEO of Zion. So I'm like, this instead, I've been trying to work on my sarcasm, which if you know me is really fucking difficult.
In fairness, it probably would have been great for the project.
Dude, I literally said, can we just keep that going? Like that would be incredible. And they're like, no, why would we do that?
So yeah, I mean, like in seriousness, the would be a great idea if he took over. No,
Almost anything would be better than you.
no, but in seriousness, like with so the brands that we launched with were really just a sneak preview of the sort of brands that we're going to be launching with. We've partnered with brands directly and brand agencies around the world who represent amongst them thousands of the biggest brands on earth who basically want a better way of telling their story, a better way to reach users, and a better way to engage with them over time. So those agencies around the world, the ones that we've already partnered with, control many billions of dollars of spend a year. And as soon as they see the effectiveness of the missions that run on our platform and the level of genuine engagement that we're getting from real users who are actually, you know, completing the missions, like learning about the products. I don't know if anyone saw the Sunglass Hut mission who's on here, but that's a mission where we basically invite people to try on different pairs of sunglasses on the Sunglass Hut platform. And we just had like tens of thousands of people actually posting pictures of what their sunglasses look like on the thing. It's just very cool user generated content that then promotes out to all of their audiences, effectively turning everyone who completes a mission into like a nano influencer and expanding the reach significantly that those brands have through genuine organic engagement. So the brands that we're going to be launching, there's going to be hundreds of missions after we've spooled up after the first few months, and the missions are going to be more and more engaging and aiming to be doing more and more interaction.
That's awesome. And I guess, from idea to this awesome launch to mainnet, what's been the kind of the journey looked like?
Um, I mean, it basically came about seeing the opportunity that existed in the play to earn space. We saw that there was just so much interest and adoption that was coming from play to earn, and we basically the core difference and the rate of adoption was because up until play to earn, the only reason that anyone was ever going to create a wallet was because they were going to make an investment or take a risk or do something that had like a risk association, right? Whereas in play to earn, you saw millions of people from around the world flocking to games because there was an opportunity for them to earn money or earn rewards while playing a game. Um, and we thought, okay, super interesting that, and quite obvious in retrospect, that if you put opportunity behind wallets, then you'll get a far higher rate of adoption than if you put risk behind wallets. So on top of that thesis, we were like, what is a more sustainable economic model than building games that have to build sustainable economies within themselves? And one of the most sustainable economic parts of the global economy is the growth marketing part of the economy, because it doesn't matter if it's a bull market or a bear market in crypto. It doesn't really matter that much if it's a recession or a period of growth in the macro economy. People have to spend money on acquiring more customers, regardless of what those cycles look like, which is why ad spend year on year grows from, 10 years ago, it was like $200 billion. Now it's $1 trillion, like just an absurd level of growth in a very short period of time. And there's no real sign of it slowing down. So we basically have spent the last year simultaneously building out a platform that enables rewards to be paid out to people in the simplest way possible, abstracting as much of the Web3 crypto stuff as possible to make our platform as friendly as possible to use by anyone on the internet who has ever signed up to an email account. And that's thanks to the innovations of Zion. So, gracias. And beyond that, the objective is that through using the rest of the platform, the people never really have to directly interact with any of the technologies that are powering the rewards and payments that they're receiving and the wallets that they're creating on our platform. So that's sort of been the key focus, is to make sure that the tech is invisible, but the reward is obvious.
Interesting. And do people have trouble understanding you in that Australian accent? Or?
I don't know because I don't listen to their responses.
um, what was it? I mean, sorry, that was a community question by Dimitri. Dimitri, thank you for the question. I think that was obviously it's on everyone's mind, but thank you, Dimitri, for asking that question.
Appreciate it, mate.
As we kind of look at community, and it's obviously such a huge part of crypto. Have you guys kind of thought about the community, maybe a potential earn token at some point?
We've definitely thought about it, mate. But as you know, things move slowly down in Australia, so we're
Of
yet to
course.
make any formal announcements around it. But I would draw everyone's attention to the leaderboard that we have on the platform, which is basically been keeping track of the people who have been most responsible for the growth that that they've delivered to our platform. So at the moment, we've got people who have earned 100,000 EP, the points on our platform, who have amongst them invited tens of thousands of people, and that will become the most important thing that anyone is able to do on our platform, is introduce everyone that they know who isn't already into crypto into the EarnOS platform by just letting them know that it's the easiest way that they can earn money by learning about brands, learning about products, learning about services, but also that it's the easiest way for them to earn money because everyone that they invite onto the platform, every single time they ever complete a mission, they'll earn a portion of EarnOS's success fee when brands successfully accomplish the engagement that they're after online. So if anyone is listening and they're thinking, well, $1 trillion, that would be nice. How do I get some of that $1 trillion? The way that you get some of that $1 trillion is that you invite people onto our platform and they complete missions. And that's quite powerful for not just the people who are using the platform as just everyday users completing missions and earning rewards, but it's very, very powerful for the creators, the KOLs, the influencers who will be promoting the missions from BMW, Uber Eats, Baskin Robbins, things like that on the platform, to be able to say, hey, I'm going to make a video about this and post it to my 50 million followers or my 100 million followers. And a bunch of them are going to sign up to EarnOS and they're going to complete the missions for Uber and BMW and Baskin Robbins. And then I'm going to earn dollars every single time those people do those things. And if anyone listens to that and they think about that and they go, well, that sounds too good to be true, it isn't. Because it's really just us rewarding you for bringing users onto the platform and helping facilitate adoption. And adoption is what we care about. And adoption is why we're working with XION.
Oh, shucks. And so I mean, you kind of alluded to this a couple of times, um, but as it relates to, you obviously you come from Uber, you come from a telephony company, which I don't think that's a real word, but
But you're illiterate,
um,
so you wouldn't know about it.
yeah. Well, I'm not reading, so yeah. I mean, I don't really use the telephone. Anyway, you kind of alluded to this. You obviously come from a very, very impressive background with a lot of, obviously experience in not only working with large companies, but also building companies up yourself. You and Tom, what is it about, whether it be about crypto, that makes EarnOS possible, or why come over to effectively Web3 or the dark side, given how much, incredible experience you have?
Great question. And I wonder that every morning when I wake up.
Me too. Don't worry. Me too.
But the truth is I think everyone's sleeping on it. I think there's asymmetric opportunity in this
Bullish.
space because I don't think that anyone started thinking about what sort of economies can be formed out of our ability to be able to pay anyone on the planet, 5.5 billion internet users, any amount of money or any transaction or any reward or anything at all for interacting with a company, a brand, a creator, any person online. So when we can create wallets for next to nothing, when we can transact to those wallets for cents or less than cents, hopefully when mainnet launches, fingers crossed, then we can start doing extremely interesting things with accelerating the speed of money, building the economy, and accelerating the growth of the GDP of the internet. And that's why I want to do it, because it's the only way that we can accelerate the velocity of money and distribute it globally. I mean, we had people from 170 countries using our platform in the first 7 days. You can't pay out people in 170 countries using any traditional banking rails $5. It's impossible. There's just no alternative. So Web3 is the only answer to facilitate these new economies.
And do you think, as you grow and EarnOS grows, you're obviously talking about huge, huge things you guys are solving. Are you going to are you going to stay directly with, kind of these brands and these brand spends, or are you going to take effectively exactly what you just said about payment rails and go far, far beyond that?
Yeah, obviously, we see a huge amount of potential in building out payment orchestration that facilitates any business solution where there's one-to-many payment requirements, where there's many participants with aligned incentives to grow out networks and platforms. So there's creator networks, there's two-sided marketplaces for content creators, there's affiliate networks, there's these entire new shopper referral models that we're seeing being built out on TikTok, Shopify, and shops and stuff like that. And we want to basically make it easier to reward and remunerate any participants in those growth platforms, because Web3 makes it instant, it makes it fast, and it makes it nearly free. EarnOS is the first platform that we're building out to sit on top of that payment orchestration layer that we call OS. But because, I mean, honestly, it's one of the biggest problems. It's much easier to solve in Web3, and we've already got a huge amount of traction. But we see a future where there's additional apps that solve out other things like those multi-sided marketplaces and, things like freelancer networks and Upwork and things like that that can easily be disrupted by facilitating one-to-many payments.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, as soon as you said that, I just realized that the earn in EarnOS is because you're earning. Wow.
Yeah, it's
That
funny
must have
that
taken a
that
while.
doesn't surprise me that you've just realized that. Like it's just
Oh God. So I mean, I guess one question, and then we could start to wrap up. But how did you guys? I mean, how did you guys come? Obviously, Phil, Tom, you guys are co-founders in this adventure. How did you guys come to meet and decide to even start this thing?
I think
I think I want to hear this from Tom, actually.
okay. Yeah, you
Just
go,
kidding.
Tom.
I'm just kidding.
So it's not just Tom and I.
Oh,
We have another co-founder, which is Wayne, and Wayne's actually got a huge background in brand agencies and building out marketing funnels. And it was actually him who suggested that we contemplate solving problems in the brand space based on the understanding that we had of the play to earn space, the generation of wallets, and the ability to facilitate payouts. So he's not on this call because he's basically spends 100% of his time convincing brands that they need our platform. So he's the reason that we have all of the brands online. But that's actually, in honesty, the origin of where that came from. And then I sort of felt as though if I have to listen to Wayne's endless bullishness of how big of a problem that we're solving in absence of someone else, I would go insane. So we brought Tom on board so that there was a little bit more balance, so that we had enough
understandable. Yeah.
technical balance. And I hope that Wayne's listening because he would be laughing at me right now for saying that. Uh, I mean, Wayne understands the problem better than anyone else in the team because he himself owned a brand agency that was responsible for a huge amount of spend and knows the problem that we're solving from the other side of the equation. And that's what gives us a superpower because we know our customer and we know how to solve our customers' problems.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, that's exciting. I mean, listen, guys, we are coming up on time. Is there anything that you wanted to, tell the crowd before we wrap things up?
I just want to say thanks to everyone who has jumped onto the platform and has just gone out promoting us to absolutely everyone. We've had people referring literally, like I said, tens of thousands of users. We've sent out over 200,000 invites on behalf of you guys where people have just been signing up. The adoption rate's phenomenal. The average amount of missions that everyone's completing is, basically all the missions on the platform. And those user behaviors are really, really helpful for us to learn so that we can build an awesome product when we launch, and that's going to be pretty soon. So really, really appreciative, absolutely awesome of all of you guys. And if you've got feedback, hit us up on Discord, hit us up on Twitter. We're always listening, and you'll all be appropriately rewarded. So thank you.
You'll all be appropriately rewarded. Let me.
You
Let
shall
me. Let me.
be. We
Let
have a
me give
referral
you.
program.
Let me. Let me just be the first one to say it. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, fine. Yes, via the referral program. Be
Yes.
careful. I get yelled at by enough lawyers. I promise you. But
No, mate.
either way,
We've got a
Tom, is
referral
there
program.
any? Tom, is there any anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I think just echoing Phil's words there. Also, we've still got more to come in this beta as well. So, as Phil mentioned, we're going to sort of go to a sort of mainnet in the coming months. But in the meantime, we'll be in our beta phase. So we've still got some more exciting things to come as we layer into the platform. So stay tuned and keep an eye on Discord and Twitter as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Hit that smash button, everybody. Or smash that like button.
Smash button. Interesting. I think you're on a different app, mate.
Yeah, literally. I don't even know what app I'm on.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Phil, Tom, I appreciate you guys hopping on. I'm very excited. And for anyone here who doesn't know, I don't shut the hell up about EarnOS. And for very good reason. I love what these guys are building. And I'd love to consider Phil a friend, but I don't. But
the feeling is mutual.
No, but in all honesty, it's been an absolute pleasure working with this team, and I'm excited to do it a lot more. So honestly, stay tuned for the future. They have a ton of exciting stuff to come out. Definitely keep an eye on their notifications on Discord, Twitter, obviously. And expect to see an insane lot more. That was literally just a beta, and they blew everyone out of the water with insane branch for a freaking beta. So, I mean, with that being said, especially when there's true distribution, it's going to be really, really, really exciting. And I have no doubt that this is the team to do it. So, Phil, Tom, appreciate the time. Thank you, everyone, for listening. It's been super exciting, super awesome. And I'll talk to everyone soon.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Peace, guys.
Thank you.
Ciao.